like I said, the biggest thing is use it. Keep trying to turn over that tank of gas. Don't let that tank of gas.
What is the combination? What is the combination for the fuel per gallon of gas?
On the back of the fuel stabilizer, it tells you. Initially, it's 1 ounce for every 8 gallons. That's almost like your shock dosage. And every time you add gas, it's 1 ounce for every 16 gallons of gas. This boat's got a 30-gallon fuel tank. 1 for 16. I would just put in 2 ounces. 16 and 16 is 38.
So 2 ounces for a full tank of gas.
I would do 2 ounces for a full tank of gas.
But I need to know what's already in there before
I think it was just under 30, like 25 gallons or something like that. Right. What he got in it. I would just go ahead and put 2. Actually, no, you got to double that up. I'd put 3 or 4 ounces in there right now. And then as you keep adding gas,
there's no fuel stuff in there now.
I don't think he's put in any yet. Okay. He's supposed to, but
would you go and check?
Yeah, I will. It doesn't hurt to use more. Okay, it's just kind of being wasted, but as long as you got that 1 ounce for every 16 gallons, you're good. And keep turning it over.
Okay, could you check on that for me now?
I'll find out. And use it. That's the biggest thing. Use it.
I'm out here at the motor. They're going over the motor right now. They just shut it off. Yeah. Let me get this.
Now over here, there is what's called a freshwater flushing port device.
No, it isn't.
It's this right here.
Are you? Okay, I'm gonna call you when I get home.
Say you take the boat on vacation. It's got to sit in the water, but you want to flush all the salt water out of the power head.
I'll call you later.
It's sitting in the water, you can't reach the foot to flush it. So that's why Yamaha and a lot of other manufacturers have come up with this flushing port. My hands are so greasy, I can't grab this. What you do is you take the garden hose, put it into here. You do not run the motor with this. Tilt the engine all the way up.
What is that for? What does that do?
It's going to flush the engine without running it. Say you got to go on vacation, the boat sits in the water. Well, you can't use the flushing mush just like I did because the foot of the motor's in the water. You can't reach it. So from standing inside of the boat, you can hook up the garden hose to that connection and then just turn it on full bore. Do not run the motor. What it's doing right now is it's filling the front of the head of the motor all the way up, and then once it gets full, it'll start to dribble out the little P-tube there. Okay? That's why you tilt it all the way up, because now that P-tube is the highest point. It won't pee out until it gets all the way up to the top. If the engine was down, the P-tube is lower, it wouldn't fill up the entire block. It'd only get up so high before it starts to pee out. So that's why you tilt it all the way up like this. And then just let it do its job just like this. It's flushing right now. Okay? Never, ever, ever, ever run the motor using this. Alright? Only use it just like I am now. The old-fashioned way is still the best way. With the flushing muffs around here, motor straight up and down, just letting the engine idle. Don't ever race it. Okay? And same thing, let it sit there for about 10 minutes or so, and then it's flushed. It's all done. You can come back and just rinse the engine off.
Should water come out of the top?
Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't, depending on your water pressure. That's about as high as I can get it right there. The water is getting filled up, and then it's coming down through the exhaust port, and it's coming out where it needs to be down here. Okay? It's getting everywhere on the motor right now.
What's the purpose of doing this?
Getting the salt water out of the power head. Okay? just like flushing it, just like I was doing before with the engine. All right. This is just a way of doing a quick flush if you can't get to the lower unit with the flushing box. The boat sitting in the water. Make sure you put this piece back in the holder. Okay? Get back in here.
Screw it on.
Screw it right back on. Let all the water drain out by poking it right down. Once it's done draining, you're all done.
Can you drive down the road and stuff with it draining like that? Or?
No, it's too close to the ground. You start going over bumps, you're going to tag the lower unit. That's why you got to have it tilted up. That's done. We can rinse it off. We really weren't in anything for salt water, so I'm not going to rinse it off. Put the cowling back on it.
Rinse what off? All this?
You can spray this off. Just mist it.
Mist here?
Yeah.
Just mist it.
Just mist it. Don't go spraying right
Just
into
mist it.
Just mist it off.
Let's get the salt water off.
Any salt that might have built up on here during your day out there on the water, you want to rinse the salt off. You want to try and get that salt off in there so it's not eating into it. Okay. Then when it's all done, put the cowling back on, and you can start rinsing off the boat.
What's that called?
The cowling.
Cowling.
Clip in the front, in the back. That's done.
And now you're going to check on that fuel stuff, put the fuel for me.
Always remember to rinse this off in here. This, and then around the steering yoke. Probably the number one and number two places everybody forgets to rinse off.
Rinsing or misting?
You can blast it, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blast
You don't want to
already.
blast the electronics in this, you just want to mist it.
Mist it.
Okay, yeah.
Is that it, Brian?
Locked in place, that's done.
You locked it in place.
All done.
Straps are down, front's down, and you're going to check on that gas.
I'm going to check on that.
And then I
I'm
want
gonna
some
show you-
extra. I want some extra additive
Yep.
for my next fuels of tanks.
I'm going to show you some protectant for the seat vinyl.
I don't need that.
Don't need that? Okay.
No, I have stuff for that.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer in my stuff. So.
Okay. Whatever you do not use Armor All on the seats.
Absolutely.
Do not.
I know.
That stuff is even horrible for cars.
Yes, it is. All it does is scratch them and wax them.
It dries them out.
It dries them out.
Brian?
Yep.
Down here in Homosassa Marine. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome anytime.